Hi, I'm Paul Sullivan, and I'm just running a little test this morning to see if I can record some video and talk to you a little bit about growth-driven design in web design. It's around 7:30, so I'm just chilling out in the home office. But what I really want to talk to you about today is website redesign and why you need growth-driven design as opposed to traditional web design methods. You might see my eyes drop to the screen because I've kind of got some notes there, and I want to kind of make sure I touch on all of the points that I want to raise in today's short video. So just to kick us off, traditional web design really is a dying thing for me because it causes a lot of pain for companies that adopt the traditional methods of website redesign. And why would I say that really? Well, if you look at the approach to traditional website redesign, that process is set up for failure. It's lengthy, it's costly and protracted, and often these projects are over budget, over time scale, and can cause unrest between the agency and the client. So I'd like to talk to you about three different scenarios of web design users from a business perspective and an agency perspective. So it's a combination of the three and not three of each. And you can sort of work out for you where you feel you fit in this from either a business owner perspective or from the agency perspective. And hopefully it'll add some value to the work that you guys are currently doing. So in scenario one, we're going to look at the no-hoper. And I'm just going to put a hypothetical company in for you for all this. So the Acme company currently has an underperforming website. They built a responsive design website, but they've not developed any buyer personas. They don't practice any organic SEO methods at all. They haven't developed landing pages, content offers, calls to action, or any outreach programs such as social media marketing or even paid search. Effectively, they've built themselves a website and expected the results to roll in. And I've heard this story hundreds of times. And have you, or do you recognise that? Quite often, you probably hear these business owners at parties or in a bar saying, I bought a website once for my company. Yeah, it didn't do much. They say it was a waste of money. Or the website developer was rubbish. He didn't get you onto page one of Google or anything. Or maybe you've heard, I built a website with this developer. Then when I paid for that and wanted to be on page one of Google, he wanted XXX per month to get me there. What a rip-off merchant. And sometimes I've even heard, well, I never get anything from our website, so we don't do no marketing stuff. I mean, these are not my ideal clients, and hopefully they're not your ideal clients. But if you recognise yourself in that as a business owner, then it's time to refocus your online plan, as currently you're really destined to fail. Presently, there's no growth, there's no vision, and there's no ambition. You really need to get your head around online marketing and the practicalities of that, and educate yourself a little bit before you go out and speak to someone about performing this function on your behalf. So as a website owner, you don't really need to pay someone to do this for you. You definitely can learn to write good content, and we've definitely got a great guide that you can download, and I'll give you a URL for that at the end of this video. And this will be time dependent, of course, but a worthwhile investment nonetheless. And for an agency, this type of web investment will be nothing but a problem. They'll blame you for the failings of the website performance rather than their own lack of investment into like a suitable marketing support package, and this is really going to damage your agency's reputation before you've even got possibly off the floor. Most small agencies will be dealing with these types of clients quite often for the first couple of years of business at least, and before they kind of kick on and move away from these guys, it's something that you really need to focus on if, as an agency, you're putting together a content marketing strategy. So this kind of persona for me is the zombie client persona. It's kind of alive, but dying a slow death, and the website could sit around for a long time doing not a lot at all. So it's not really something that I'd like to get involved with at my agency. So To look at scenario two, the semi-educated. This we're going to talk about a hypothetical company called the Broadbean Services Company, or I might refer to that as the BSC. And this company did invest in some outreach. They've invested in blogging, and they've done it without real strategy or personas, and they've used their blog pretty much like a company PR page. And whilst this has got them some business, they've seen that their competitors are doing much better, and they've done some research into that. They're acting out on social media, they're plugging their products in a salesy way, and they're providing no value on Twitter or Facebook for potential buyers of their services. What they've found is the other companies aren't using their blogs for PR purposes, and they're using the blog as an educational zone of enrichment about their services in a very third-party perspective. They've got data capture points, like sign up for newsletters and offers, content offers that are also gated by registration forms and visitor information that has to be traded in order to gain access to that information or to download or view it. And some have live chat, and all the websites were responsively designed. I mean, that's probably the standard for web design at the moment. They had a clear social program, and they've been careful about spreading their own and relevant contextual content to their followers in a timely and responsible way. As a result of the outreach that's been performed, the head of sales at the BSC has commissioned an agency, and in this typical agency recruitment way of proposal, interview, and elimination. They've embarked on a 5-month journey of redesigning the company website and supporting this with a solid inbound marketing campaign, a marketing automation platform. In this case, it would be HubSpot. On paper, if you was reading this, or just listening to me, you'd probably say that the BSC aren't in bad shape, and they've pretty much joined the masses and got quite current in terms of their website and marketing activities. And in 6 months' time, they'll be in a great position to compete with their peers when their website's finished. Wow, did you just hear what I just said? In 6 months' time, the BSC will be in a great position to compete with their peers. And that's where it gets really interesting for me, because that's the current flawed model, and for me, it really doesn't work. So effectively, you've been asked to pay money for 6 months before you get one result, which is the new website, and then another 6 months to get the real turnaround in results from the marketing automation campaign. And that's a whole year before you see a real return. And in the meantime, you're still carrying an underperforming website for a further 6 months. And, that really doesn't make good business sense. So don't get me wrong, a year to turn around the fortunes of a company where, turnover's on the wane, and that can sound really appealing. And you get a strong plan for your marketing campaign, and you get a solid plan for your website. Now, the problem with the traditional method of website redesign is that it's a little hit and miss. What I mean by that is, in traditional website redesign, an agency will tell you what success is in similar websites it's designed for your industry, and what's currently best practiced by website design standards. And you, the client, will tell the agency what you want to showcase in amongst all of that. And again, does that sound familiar to you? Do you recognise your own company-agency relationship in that description? Or is that how you prefer to work in a website redesign project situation? So this is my own agency persona, and I call this a Phoenix persona. And this persona needs my help. Out of the ashes of their previous vision for website redesign projects, I'm going to educate them around growth-driven design, GDD, and the value in letting those customers, consumers, tell you what they want and need. So from that Phoenix persona, I'm going to take someone to be a more fully informed persona, and look at really the third scenario, which is where we believe that growth-driven design really adds value. And in this in this scenario, I'm going to use the Astute and Sound Company, commonly referred to as the ASC, and they've tried the above method in its last three. Sorry, not the above method. They've tried the aforementioned method in the last 3 website redesign projects. But the CMO there is looking for something better. They're looking for something more customer-centric in a truer sense of the word, and more data-centric and shorter-term in its delivery, which isn't something that's common with website design, as most people agree. So they're looking for a product that enables the previous site to come down in as soon as maybe 30 to 45 days, have a new site go up, and that their targeted marketing campaign, an inbound campaign, can be implemented, bringing that kind of 6-month marketing uptake forward by around 5 months compared to a traditional website redesign. So to me, that's a real wow factor. That's where the value kicks in, and any company, let alone the BSC, would be sort of immediately interested in a solution like that. So it's not to bore you with a lengthy discussion about, using a data-driven approach to redesigning your company and how that works. I'm going to keep the rest of this quite short. So GDD is the process of continuous development of a website, treating it as a living thing rather than as something you would readdress every 18 to 24 months. You take your agency and your clients' ideas, your clients' products and services, and you find the 20% of that, which is the most important from a website perspective. And then you launch a Launchpad website, which is a fully functioning website, but built around the core requirements. And this website won't have any fluffy nice to haves included in the build up front. And the reason for this is because you're going to undertake a mass amount of ongoing research, both during and after the Launchpad stage, to continually monitor and understand your consumers' behaviour, ultimately maximising the opportunity to convert prospects. GDD isn't about building a website in full and then charging a client more to do that over time, but a real way to build your website out from your customers' and consumers' behaviour online by focusing on your core converting aspects of your products or services on your website, then using the data you collect monthly to make changes. You really focus on the stuff that forms part of the funnel to deliver your business outcomes. So in amongst all that, there'll be a lot of A and B testing of pages continuously, and you'll be making color changes if necessary. You're using heat maps, user interviews, SEO, and much more to deliver a real customer-centric web platform. Basically, excelling past the traditional build, stagnate, rebuild method that we currently all embrace. So if your business is really bought into data-driven marketing, then logically data-driven website design is a requirement. And as we all know, marketing activity drives traffic to a website as much as a website drives traffic into a marketing funnel. So if your business, for me, is currently a phoenix, then I think for you it's time to fly clear of the flames and look into growth-driven design. The website standard for those with conversion at the heart of their marketing campaign. You can really find out quite a lot about growth-driven design from HubSpot. There's a certificate that goes alongside that, which we at MotorWeb do have. But it's time for you from here to go out onto the internet and do a little bit of research and find out a little bit more about growth-driven design and how that can benefit